Hi. Can't actually see myself here. Not very classy. Okay. There's me. Hi. It's 5:30 on Thursday morning. Again, I'm drinking a large bottle of Pepsi Max. Super classy. And you know, as opposed to doing something like going to steady employment, let's say, or really anything even close to the sort of thing that a reasonable person might be doing up at this hour, I've instead been up all night detailing and researching potential places in the Sudbury area, and that includes sort of greater Sudbury and that sort of thing, to maybe shoot a little, or maybe many little amateur film projects that I've had ideas for sort of over the years, I guess, as you know, I keep having these little flashes. I mean, they're like those mental pictures. I guess if you're not familiar with me, for whatever reason you're watching this, think of my entire brain as like every episode of fucking Family Guy ever, where you're treated to, anytime anyone mentions anything, a brief flash that, you know, outlines the start to tail what the fuck is going on in his head. Well, my brain is like that for me all the time, and it's weird. Like, you try it. But anyway, so I laid down, you know, this evening to sleep, again, as ordinary human beings do, and did not, because I am not reasonable in any way, shape, or form crossing the street, so don't mind if we don't keep eye contact here, future, because otherwise, these videos are going to come in handy for like a memorial way faster than I'd like. Okay, so, the first place I'm going to scope out, and actually probably at a pretty good time, is the Cambrian Arena, which is in Cambrian Heights and not near Cambrian College or any of the other places. Sorry, I just had to switch hands. Getting a little tired. Not a lot of stamina. So I'm gonna go check that out. Because I could not, and I mean could not, like there are several projects I've thought about writing, or I suppose like animating, as in not like a Flash cartoon or anything like that, although that would probably be a better way to put it, but you know, comics, like a web comic, something, you know, I could do maybe, or even do with the assistance of other people. But the problem is that generally when I think about things, that is to say when I have my, I'm not going to call them flashes of inspiration, because they're probably not actually good enough to be called inspiration, but they are these little things, I call them flashes, just because they don't let me sleep, like, they don't let me rest sometimes. I gotta think about them, or I have to think about something else, anything else, like dicks. No, not like dicks, sorry Mom, excuse me, but like definitely titties, sorry Mom. Alright, now the crude and lewd part is over. So yeah. And, like, I don't know what else to call them. I feel like sometimes, you know, like I'm being interrogated by my own mind. Like, what else you got? What else you got? Got anything else in there? Huh? How about this? Earlier today, I thought of a time-traveling Nikola Tesla snatching the bases for several public domain figures, and, you know, a cowboy and Agamemnon and that sort of thing, out of the time stream to essentially become time cops and help repair the damage that Thomas Edison did with his incomplete understanding of time travel, because he stole Tesla's time travel machine and tried to reverse engineer it. Needless to say, I just don't think I have the budget. Otherwise, I'd probably try to shoot it. So, regardless, that's the sort of thing that gets in my head all the time. And, you know, for some people it's trite and unoriginal and probably unenjoyable, but I like it. And, I don't know. Maybe that kind of shit gets me through the day. Anyway, the point is, so I'm always thinking of these things, but they're hard. They're so hard. Like, projects of any sort of, like projects that are good invariably are not, you know, shot entirely in, let's say, 7 days, with the exception of stuff like Robert Rodriguez's El Mariachi, let's say, all right? And that requires a lot of practice, that requires a lot of rehearsal, and that's the kind of shit I get bored with because there's no payoff. What the fuck is the point? Oh, that, by the way, the reason I'm walking down here, as in, you know, like Sacré-Cœur or whatever the fuck, so I can look at these power things. Oh, I don't know if we're actually looking at them, us. These power things here. I think these are pretty neat. Kind of things I'd like to get. Anyway, fuck me. Anyway, cocksucker. The reason I brought this thing along wasn't actually to document this, although I thought it'd be pretty handy, and at least I'd be able to get 2 in a fucking row up like I'm trying to do. I mean, Jesus, my goddamn Christ, what's wrong with me? Well, a lot of things, I guess. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, fuck, probably other shit too, who knows? This is the sort of thing, this sort of aesthetic I'm sort of looking for. See how it's dingy? Like the panes are dingy. I think this is actually like a sewage treatment plant. Couldn't tell you for sure off the top of my head. I'm gonna go ahead and walk by it, of course, but this is the kind of aesthetic that I think you can make pretty much any movie work with. I mean, like, you could shoot a trailer, you know, comprised entirely of like exterior shots like this. Cut to, you know, 3 guys standing in a fucking field around a burned ring. You know what I'm saying? I'm just taking that shit off the top of my head here. And then, you know, one of them says something like, starting again. See, I like this. I don't know what it's for, but I like it. It seems like the racks are probably for, like, machinery or something, but I think it'd be pretty cool if I could find a way, like, get a lot of ivy or something, climbing ivy, get that through there, give it the appearance of disuse, you know? Anyway, I'm a weird guy. So, what I'm basically doing is I'm looking for both, like, I guess, industrial places. I couldn't tell you why I want to find those places, except I feel like if I wanted to shoot, like if I genuinely wanted to shoot something, I had the opportunity, etc., it seems to me that the one beautiful, I mean fucking astonishing benefit of living in Sudbury is that there really is quite a bit of wooded area around, which isn't the sort of luxury you get in like Toronto until you get the fuck out of the city. Whereas, you know, this fairly attractive, I think, you know, defile comes nicely down from this hill, plenty of trees, you know, very little, it doesn't really look like people have been around much, with the exception of, you know, a little detritus, that bottle, this plastic shit, you know, it's not a lot of human influence on, say, this shot, you know what I mean? Or this shot up here. Why is my battery dying? That's bad. Okay. So, you know, it's not until you get over there you see that red flag, etc. So, I think it's important for me to find, to be able to locate affordable interesting industrial and institutional spaces in which to shoot. Because like I said, you know, it's a fucking smorgasbord of outdoor shots we could do. You don't even have to close off a fucking road as long as you got the blocking rehearsal down. Bam! Shoot a 30-second scene in 30 fucking seconds, you're good to go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna turn this off for now because that blinking light scares me a little. Really does. I'm gonna try to record as much as I can of the spaces I want to look at before it dies. Okay, thanks for listening.